YouTube? My name is TwangYourDead, and this is my Pokemon Y Wonder Trade Challenge Episode 4. Now, as we start off, I'm going to be entering the Santaloon Gym. It is a bug-type gym. I talked to this guy because in the black and white versions, and also black and white 2, they gave you fresh water every time you talk to that guy. This guy, not so much. I don't think they do that in this version. Kind of a bummer, no free items, but whatever. As you'll see, this is a huge web, which I thought was cool. I mean, you can move every single way, but there's breaks in the web so that you can't move, everywhere. With this gym, you just really need to follow the water droplets. I did go off the path so that I could fight this guy, just to start things off. So this guy's got a ladybug. I'm going to send out my Skarmory. And yeah, this is no contest right here, so I'm expecting this gym to be relatively fast, and if not, all in my favor. Like, I don't expect there to be any trouble fighting these guys with any of my Pokemon. So yes, I intentionally fought that guy, but granted, I think I had to go this way. So this youngster's Zachary, sending out Spupa. Spupa don't do too much. I did switch to Inkay because I think he needed a little more face time. Experience my guys get. This Wonder Trade Challenge is ridiculous. So at first I think I'm going the wrong way because that looks like, yeah, it looks like I'm kind of retraced my step, but I end up finding my way because again there's the water droplets, and then this fight is unavoidable. Those are the two you could have gone around, it looks like. I chose to fight him though, because, extra money for me. So she's got a Kakuna. I mentioned in my last episode that Farfetch'd, to me, personally, they just don't do very well in my book after level 30. Or at least that's when I stopped training them, is after level 30. Their usefulness just kind of goes away after that. Other bird Pokemon, I find Fearow, I would only train to level 40. Pidgeot, but at least for the Generation 1 Pokemon, Pidgeot seemed to be the best flying Pokemon, and I bring this up because in regards to the Kakuna, again with Beedrill, I've tried training them beyond that level 30 point, and I could just never really get them to go beyond that level 30. I always just gave up on them because they just seemed a little underpowered after level 30. This person had a female Combi, which I might encounter later, because Combi you can catch right outside the city on the way to the next city. So here is the gym leader, who happens to be a photographer, if you notice all the camera gear, and the fact she just took my picture, which means she's gonna lose. So I think it's cool that they put like the little outline of what the badge looks like right next to the person. Surskit, wow, I haven't used Surskit ever, mainly because I never was able to find them. I know in one version that I played, I only played the one, like the version that didn't have Surskit in it, and it had some other Pokemon. And then after that, like for a couple of generations in between, you just couldn't catch Surskit. I don't know why, but I guess they fell back on more basic bug Pokemon instead of a water bug. I don't know, but I mean, I guess you're able to catch them in this version. Vivillon uses Harden. He used Swagger. He's confused, but he doesn't get hit in confusion. I don't know why I didn't do Foul Play. I really don't. I tried Peck because I knew it would be super effective. This Infestation I didn't realize was going to hit me so hard. And then he snaps out of confusion, so his tackle hits a lot harder because I swaggered him. And then I used Foul Play, which, if I had used it in the first place, I wouldn't have been in this situation, and my Pokemon faints. So I bring out my Vivillon, and the gym leader uses a potion. Thankfully, the gym leaders only will use one healing item. This Vivillon is just tackled down my Vivillon, and since it had, you know, increased defense from the Harden, and then my Swagger giving extra attack, my Vivillon didn't stand a chance, sadly. So Skarmory takes it out, because Skarmory's awesome. My Vivillon ends up getting 2 levels from that Vivillon, so... Then again, bug Pokemon kinda... they grow fast anyway. And now it says you and your Klefki, because she says you and your first Pokemon in your lineup. But my first Pokemon in my lineup happened to faint, so she said the second Pokemon in my lineup. So... and she gives me that Infestation. Infestation prevents Pokemon from running. It's just like Wrap, Bind, Fire Spin. It's just the bug version of those types of attack. Now here, I don't know where the heck I am, and I get kind of lost. And then this guy talks to me. It's like, yeah, you got the bug badge, woohoo! Thanks, guy, for telling me everything. So, I go to the Pokemon Center to heal up my guys before I go on to the next part of this. Now, I mentioned in one of my previous videos that the camera does shift when you heal sometimes, but this is the first time it happened, so it's one of the views. It'll also go to the right instead of, you know, panning to the left. Like I've said, it'll zoom in really close, or it'll pan out, you know, really high, or it'll pan out high and to the left or high to the right. Also, if it happens to be your birthday, as registered in your Game Boy, when you heal, the first time you heal at Pokemon Center, like, it'll go happy birthday, and there'll be a little cake and fireworks, whatever. So, I just got the experience share, which, after having played this part, regretting putting on, or turning on, because my guys just end up getting so much experience. I'm already ahead of the game. I shouldn't have done the last video, or I should say, I shouldn't have done the content of the last video of training up to level 12 to get to the point where I can beat the gym leader really easy, because she was going to be really easy anyway with my lineup. And so I end up training my guys to where they just have, they're ridiculously ahead of the curve. Yeah, you guys will see that. And in future videos, I will not be using the experience share. I love the experience share, don't get me wrong, but just with this thing, they're already getting amazingly high amounts of experience. They don't need to all be getting half experience from the battle that they didn't participate in. That it's just a little ridiculous on how much experience they'll be getting overall. So in the future videos, I will cut it, or I will stop the use of experience share. But in this one, yeah, I found that out the hard way. Right now, as you can tell, I'm just running around looking for items. I did find a guy who has a core fish for whatever reason. The gardeners have a core fish in this game. I don't know why they have core fish. Maybe it's because their pincers look like, you know, cutters or whatever. And I'm trying to avoid the grasses because I realize that I'm so far ahead of the curve, which is why you don't see me running around in the freaking grass. Here's a skitty. Like I said, this thing's level 8. The wild Pokemon are supposed to be about what your guys' level, or what your Pokemon are leveled at, and mine are 4 levels above that. So it's, yeah, kind of ridiculous about how long I trained, and it was completely unnecessary. Now right here in front of this fountain, after the game, I explained when I went through the forest, is another Mega Stone for Mega Evolutions. After you beat the game and are able to find the Mega Stones, you'll find one there. So I did Metal Sound on this Pidgey because I wanted to one-hit KO it with a Fairy Wind, which I did. This chick's being difficult. I have to chase her down. Hey, come back here. There we go. So this chick has a Fletchling. My Klefki should be able to handle it. Fletchling, until like they evolve, they don't learn any fire moves. Sadly for them, because they only have flying and normal moves, which aren't very good against steel. So yeah, this guy's gonna do no damage to my Klefki. Plus my Klefki's been, I don't know what its IVs are, but I mean, along with its steel typing being resistant to a whole bunch of stuff, it just has really good stats anyway right now. My Klefki does. So with the Topsy-Turvy move, I was contemplating giving it to my Inkay. Topsy-Turvy makes any buff that went up, it makes it instead go down. So if there's annoying Pokemon who, you know, boosts their evade and you use Topsy-Turvy, well, now they're really easy to hit. So, granted, if they, you know, lower your accuracy, then, you know, you use Topsy-Turvy and boom, your accuracy goes up. With Inkay's contrary, it doesn't matter with that as much anyway, as far as the accuracy going down part. But I did get rid of Reflect for it. So this chick has this Pokefan. She has 3 Pokemon. They are all Burmy, all of them, and they are the 3 forms of Burmy. If you're unfamiliar with Burmy, Burmy has 4 evolutions. It has an evolution. If it's a male, it becomes Mothim, and as a female, it becomes Wormadam. That first version that we saw, it looks like it has leaves all over it. It becomes a grass bug Pokemon. This next version, it's covered in little rocks and whatever. That one is if you're fighting in caves or in desert area, and then at once Burmy hits level 20 and it's in that form, it'll become a ground bug. The first one is in like fields, grass areas, whatever, and this last one is pink. It's supposed to be covered in quote-unquote trash. That's if you fight in a building or in cities. It'll get that trash cloak, and that one becomes a steel bug. So you can get 4 different Pokemon out of the one Pokemon of Burmy. Granted, the female version is like, they're all supposed to be tanky. They're not supposed to be attack-based, and I think Mothim is more of attack-based. I've gotten the evolves. I've never used them, but I've gotten all of them before. They're interesting. They're a little difficult to get, but if they fight in one of the areas that changes them, and then you use the experience share to level them up, and they hit level 20. They'll keep their form. It's wherever they fought last, it affects what their cloak is as a Burmy, and then their evolves won't change. So I'm gonna fight another Gardener, and I can predict this guy's got 1 core fish. Am I right? Yes, he's got 1 core fish, just like the last guy did. They do that in Pokemon where like a specific kind of person will only have the 1 type of Pokemon, and that's all they'll have. So the Gardeners only have core fish, and I apologize for my finger being in the way. I'm still trying to work on that. My finger's getting in the way. I run through the grass right here just so I can, you know, kind of show you what's in here. I do come across a Combi. It's a male though. The females have a little red dot on the lower one's head. And with Combi, the females are the only ones that evolve. Their evolve is pretty nice. I've used them before, and they can get just ridiculous. But the only reason you'd have a male is because they learn Sweet Scent, which does horde battles in this version, and they collect honey, which has the Sweet Scent effect, where it'll generate a horde battle if you use it. Also caught before Budu, and if they like you enough and they level up, they'll grow into Roselia, and then Roselia I think takes a Leaf Stone to evolve into Roserade. It might be some other stone. I think it's a Leaf Stone to evolve into Roserade, and Roserade, or at least my Roserade, have always been sick. The one Roserade that I used, I just absolutely adored my Roserade. Didn't keep it as a Roselia very long, but I did like my Roserade. So here's Pichu's cameo. And there he goes. As far as I remember, Pokemon Gabe is the only person with a Pichu in the game, just to get it on your Pokédex. In my X version, I do have a Raichu that I enjoy using. It's a speed dominant Raichu. So it has a new attack called Nuzzle, which does a small amount of damage and it paralyzes the opponent. It also has Agility, Electro Ball, and Attract, and it's a female. So I know a lot of Pokemon are male dominant, where it's more often that you'll get a male especially when you're breeding them, than you'll get a female. I mean, they do that for certain Pokemon like Eevee. I mean, just females are so sought after with Eevees and with Combee and with a whole bunch of other Pokemon, just because their find ratio is so low. Even Snorlax I found has a really low female ratio. So most Pokemon you're gonna encounter are male, and so I throw out Attract, and then I do Nuzzle, I do Agility, and then I do Electro Ball. And for those of you who don't know about what Paralysis does, out of the 6 stages of stat either increases or decreases during a battle, Paralysis cuts it in half. So it drops it down 3 stages, just automatically, boom, you're paralyzed, you're 3 stages slower. And then Attract, along with the chance of being paralyzed, they can't do a whole lot, so I can safely use Agility, which makes me even faster than they are. And then Electro Ball does more damage if you're faster than your opponent. So it ends up becoming a very gross combination. And so right here is my last battle of the video. So my Skarmory took out this Corphish, which, hey look, there's another garden with a Corphish. So I'm gonna grab this item, and then I'm gonna get out of here. So these guys tell you about fairy Pokemon if you haven't crossed them already. The Flabebe Pokemon that they mention is actually in the grass that I was just in. So Cena and Dexio will make appearances throughout the rest of the game. Now these guys are going to show me to the next city, And so right here I'm going to save. Please subscribe, comment, like the video, and I will see you guys next time.